Flyte is an machine learning and data processing product platform. It was open sourced in the beginning of the year. I had a play before the summer, and it has become much more mature recently. So I decided to have another round of try. And today I'm going to record a short video about how to get started with Flyte. So the first thing that we have to have is the Docker environment. So the easiest one is to download from here, and you just install it. There is nothing special about it. And there is another tool that we have to have Kubernetes control. Here is the link. We can install kube control. And for Mac, here is the way you can either using download with URL, or you can using brew to install it. After you install the Docker and the Kubernetes, you can have a look if these are automatically enabled or not. Go to Docker Preference, and you should see that both Docker and Kubernetes is running. Then we can have a look at what's the version of kube control. So it's the latest one, and we can see what's the current context, because kube control can manage multiple clusters, especially when you're doing multiple setup. When you have a production cluster, it's very important that you first check what is your current Kubernetes cluster. Otherwise, the things you do might go to the wrong cluster. Now we can see what's the cluster info, and we can clearly see that it's running inside the Docker. And if we go check what node it has, it should only have one node. Now we need to get the Flyte environment itself. Flyte has a multiple setup of environment. So the easiest one is to using the sandbox. And the sandbox is a Flyte generated file. It's using customized to generate this Flyte file. We can first download this Flyte file. The reason to download this file instead of directly apply it, the reason is that we can save this file. If we don't download it, just apply it, the version online might change. Then when you later want to do something else, the environment is not exactly the same as it is created. Now let's see that what we have for the Kubernetes. We only have a few things set up. Now we try to apply it with the current setup. So quite some things are set up now. Let's see if what's the status of all those pods. So some of the pods still running. It might take a minute or so before it get everything ready. Let's wait a moment. There are a few components. The Flyte admin, console, propeller, and it also has this menu, which is the S3 compatible object store. and it has Postgres as the internal storage because it's an sandbox environment, so database is running inside. Flyte also has the Spark operator, which means that during the running of task, the task can be a Spark operator. It shall be ready. After the things is ready, then we can check the URL if the Flyte is ready to use it. So the default port is 3381. You can see that if only using 3381, it will not work because it's only listening on the console path. This in the first time it troubles me quite a lot. It's basically you cannot find the front end is quite trouble. So in Flyte they have this called project, and inside the project it have different stages. So development, staging, and production. It's predefined inside a workflow, and then all the workflow will be listed. But when it's newly installed, so it's empty. Now we can install the quick start example. This is by running this command. So we can see that it's registered two workflows. One is single step edge detection, and one is the multiple step and the diabetes XG boost detections. When I see this, one of the questions I asked is that how can this be registered? Why this can be registered? If you want to ask this question as me, that you can log on to one of the Docker node to see how it is done with this command, running the Docker instance and with bash command. So inside, which has this Flyte kit, so we can write pyflyte, and it can using command line. So the previous command or the rerun, we've specified the project, specified the domain, and specified the config file. And interestingly, it also used environment variable. So if we even sort, there is important variable, which is Flyte internal image. That's the image will be registered in the Flyte, so that the Flyte, when launch a task, it will check this image and create containers. After launch this Flyte Snack quick example, it should have a workflow. It's need a refresh. After refresh, we can see here it has two of the workflows, single step and multiple step. We click the first step and launch workspace. It accepts an import image, and it will detect the edge and create an output file. So let's launch it. It will be automatically refreshed. Let's wait a couple seconds. Now see that the task is running. If we click here, it has to be click. The name itself cannot be clicking here. Click here, so we can see the input is the file from this URL, and the output is not there yet. Once it's ready, we can get the URL and check the content. So now it's completed. We might need to click another place and see that it's S3. So this S3 is not exact S3, it's using Minio, which is an S3 compatible object store. Let's go to Minio to check the content. So the username is Minio, the password is Minio storage, or in lowercase without dash. So from the console that we say, okay, it's my S3 bucket in and this object ID in. And we can see if this file, we can download the object. Download. Data modified. It should just get downloaded. So this is the content based on from the input file, and it detected the edge. Where's my Chrome? Impressive. The Chrome just crashed. Okay, let's do a restorement. Here we see that the input is this image, is the blue car. So from this car, it runs a task, and that task detected the edge and output another file. There is another workflow that's a multiple step linear diabetes using XGBoost. So same way that we can launch this workspace, and it has this import file. The import file is automatically provided as the default value. Now let's launch it. It will take some seconds before it refreshed. Flyte also has a graph built in, so we can go there to see that it first based on the input spread to the test and the training data set, then doing the fit and predict, and finally getting the output. Let's go there and look. Still running the sprint task. Click the sprint. We can see the input. That's the input file we provided during the launch. And the output is not there yet. It will take some time, some seconds. Okay, now it's finished. You can see the output. It has a few, the test, the training, X and Y. Now it's running the training task. So the input is from the previous step. And that's the same way that they use the internal mini object store. Wait some while. Now doing the predict. Same way that it has the input, and based on the URL of in S3, and it will generate the output. Wait some seconds before the output print out. Cool. Now doing the scoring to see how good the model works. The output, so it's in this 7x. Let's go to menu to see it. This one. Let's get into 7x. It's a small file. We can download it. 000. Let's see what's inside that file. Looks like it's a binary content, which is a package file. That part, this should almost ready as well. Cool, so it's ready from the input of an object and getting output. So the accuracy is 75%. Flyte provides a very good function on workflow, and the low level has tasks. It can be orchestrated and fulfill quite diverse functionality. That's the short tutorial of get started with Flyte. Thanks for your watching.